Hello again, my friends. Thanks for joining me for another video. And if this is your first time here, a very warm welcome. I'm Lucy, your narrator. Before we get started, please kindly take a moment right now and click that subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified of every time I upload a new video. And also please watch this video to the end to see the preview trailer and some behind the scenes photos. And also please check out my other videos in my playlist below or by clicking on the link on the card above on the top right hand corner of this video. And if you haven't seen this movie, please know there will be some spoilers in this video. Grand Hotel is a drama and romance movie. It was released in the USA in 1932 and it stars Greta Garbo. And some of her co-stars were Joan Crawford, Joan and Lionel Barrymore, and others. It was directed by Edmund Goulding and it won 1 Oscar. The movie is about a group of very different individuals staying at a luxurious hotel in Berlin, dealing with each of their respective dramas. And now for some behind-the-scenes trivia and tidbits. Author and playwright Vicky Baum based Menschen im Hotel both on a true story about a scandal at a hotel involving a stenographer and an industrial magnate, and on her own experiences working as a chambermaid at 2 well-known Berlin hotels. And in a package deal, MGM purchased both the stage and film rights of Vicky Baum's novel for $35,000. The play was a spectacular hit on Broadway and recouped the studio's initial investment before a single frame of film was shot. And daringly conceived by MGM production chief Irving Thalberg as what would become the first all-star film. Each studio had produced 1 all-star musical review in 1929 through 30 to showcase the splendors of sound. But conventional wisdom decreed that only then 1 or 2 stars should appear in a picture, thus maximizing profits by forcing audiences to pay separate admissions to see their favorite stars spread across many films. That philosophy changed after Grand Hotel, which featured 5 of MGM's top-tier stars and became one of the highest-grossing pictures in studio history. Realizing that 1 star-laden vehicle could lasso attendance from each of its performers' respective fan bases as opposed to producing 5 or 6 separate vehicles to achieve the same effect. Thalberg immediately set Dinner at 8 in 1933 into motion as the first all-star comedy. And the original MGM Grand in Las Vegas, where Bally's now stands, was built to resemble the design of this film. And Irving Thalberg originally wanted his wife Norma Shearer to play the role of Flämmchen. However, she received a lot of fan mail in which fans discouraged her from the role, after which she refused the part. And Joan Barrymore was so thrilled at the prospect of appearing in the film with Greta Garbo that he accepted a 3-picture deal with MGM. And Joan Crawford was admittedly awestruck by Greta Garbo. Though they had no scenes together, Crawford would greet the enigmatic star with reverence whenever the two passed each other between camera setups. Garbo never responded, so Crawford ceased her efforts to engage her. Sometime later, Garbo stopped Crawford as she walked silently past her, remarking, "Aren't you going to say something to me?" and Joan Crawford tackled the role of Flämmchen with her characteristic gusto and confidently held her own with the rest of the more established cast. Crawford was always in awe of Greta Garbo's presence and eager to talk to her idol. But since the film never called for their characters to be in the same room at the same time, there was little chance of the two spending much time together. Crawford also was too intimidated to ever directly approach Garbo, who coolly kept her distance. One day, however, Crawford was surprised when Garbo spoke to her first. It was an experience that Crawford called thrilling when Garbo stopped her on the stairs at MGM and said, "We're in the same picture. How sad I am that we haven't one scene together." It was a story that Crawford proudly told many times throughout her career. The thrill of that moment was always evident. And at one point, Oscar winner Wallace Beery stormed out of rehearsals saying he would only come back when Joan Crawford learns to act. And though film lore has suggested that Joan Crawford was irked by Greta Garbo's top billing, this was never an issue, as in 1932, Garbo was by far the more established personality, and Grand Hotel was considered a step up for Crawford, who was just beginning her ascent to prominence. And the Hollywood premiere of the film promised a performance from Greta Garbo following the film screening. And instead of Garbo, audience members were greeted by her co-star Wallace Beery, who appeared on stage in drag. Mimicking Garbo, Beery repeated her famous line, "I want to be alone." The skit was poorly received, and Joan Crawford initially objected to her role as Flämmchen because she feared that much of her performance would be censored for being too provocative and racy. Director Edmund Goulding and producer Irving Thalberg assured her that her part would be filmed in a tasteful manner and that she would be shown in a sympathetic light. Crawford's misgivings were warranted, however, as many censor boards in conservative American states cut the majority of her scenes for indecency. And apparently, there were some suggestive scenes shot between Joan Crawford and Wallace Beery, including one where they are both holding the ends of a garter. These scenes were later cut, but a still is reprinted in Alexander Walker's book, Joan Crawford, The Ultimate Star. And in later years, Joan Crawford described the movie as a grand film, a grand experience in my life. I'm so proud. I was thrilled when I heard I was going to be doing it. I only wanted to be worthy. And Wallace Beery was originally upset as being cast as Praising, believing that playing an amoral business tycoon would wreck his image, and tried to stage a walkout in protest. When he relented, he reportedly decided to steal as much of the show as possible and constantly tried to upstage the other stars. And during the filming of the busy lobby scenes, the actors wore socks over their shoes to prevent noise. Reportedly, 200 pairs of woolen socks were worn out daily. And in addition to her reservations about appearing youthful enough to portray a prima ballerina, Greta Garbo was also reluctant to act in a film which included a cast with so many additional stars. Irving Thalberg was able to convince her to take the part by offering to bill her by her last name only in the credits an honor which was reserved for only the most esteemed actors at the time. And MGM studio brass wondered how their top female star, Greta Garbo, would get along with Joan Barrymore in their many scenes together. They were both big personalities, and she had her well-known peculiar quirks. As luck would have it, there was no need to worry as the two hit it off from the beginning. On the very first day of filming together, Garbo reportedly greeted Barrymore warmly by saying, "This is a great day for me. How I have looked forward to working with Joan Barrymore." Barrymore supposedly was won over immediately. "My wife and I think you are the loveliest woman in the world," he replied. And Greta Garbo was very particular as to how her love scenes with Joan Barrymore were shot. She requested red front lighting and required curtains to be placed between the camera and film crew to help set the mood and create the illusion that she and Barrymore were alone. During one take, Garbo got so carried away with the scene that she continued kissing Barrymore for 3 full minutes after director Edmund Goulding had yelled "cut." The bonus smooching footage survives, but was not used in the final cut. And Greta Garbo was true to her sometimes aloof and temperamental reputation. Most notably, she detested having any outsiders watching her work while she was filming and had no qualms about having people removed from the set, no matter who they were. It would have been the same if it had been Jesus Christ, said Lionel Barrymore. She didn't do it to be snotty. She was frightened. She was like a cat that went under the bed when a stranger came into the room. Edmund Goulding agreed. In the studios, she is nervous, rather like a racehorse at the post, actually trembling and hating onlookers. At the first click of the camera, she starts literally pouring forth Garbo into the lens. And by all accounts, Greta Garbo and Joan Barrymore worked extremely well together and were quite generous to each other as actors. Garbo typically didn't socialize much when she was working and kept to herself, but she made an exception in Barrymore's case, as she regularly enjoyed talking with him during their downtime. Years later, Barrymore described Garbo as a fine lady and a fine actress. Garbo described him as one of the very few who had the divine madness without which a great artist cannot work or live. And the Hollywood premiere at Grauman's Chinese Theater was one of the film industry's most spectacular promotional events to date. A reproduction of the film's iconic circular reception desk was placed outside the venue, and many of the movie stars who attended the showing were asked to sign the ledger at the desk as if they were hotel guests. And Greta Garbo lived up to her reclusive reputation by refusing to attend the spectacular Hollywood premiere of the film at Grauman's Chinese Theater. Instead, Garbo spent the evening at home with close friends. And much ado was made in the press about the numerous big stars in the cast and how there was sure to be a tumultuous clash of egos. Some journalists referred to this as the Battle of the Stars, as if they were trying to deliberately egg on the perceived animosity to create a more exciting story. The more peaceful reality was that the actors were all extremely professional and did their utmost to accommodate and respect each other and allow everyone a chance to shine. It also didn't hurt that Edmund Goulding lived up to his reputation as a diplomatic handler of big personalities. And Buster Keaton proposed a comic version set in a New York flophouse entitled Grand Mills Hotel, with himself in the Lionel Barrymore role. His proposed casting included Marie Dressler as a ballerina, Jimmy Durante as a bogus count, Oliver Hardy as the industrialist, Stan Laurel as a collar button manufacturer, Polly Moran as the secretary, and Henry Armetta as a hotel clerk and expected father. Although Thalberg wanted to make it, the comedian had been fired by Louis B. Mayer and didn't wish to return to the studio. And at the time of his death in 1946, W.C. Fields claimed to be working on a low-brow comedy screenplay entitled Grand Motel. And this was the biggest Hollywood hit of 1932. According to Samuel Marx's book, Mayer and Thalberg, this film was made for about $700,000, and its initial release grossed over $1,647,000, making it one of MGM's most successful movies of the 1930s. And the quote, "I want to be alone," spoken by Greta Garbo in this movie, was listed as number 30 in AFI list of top 100 quotes from US films. And now, if you enjoyed my work and would like to show your appreciation in the form of a donation to help my channel grow, please buy me a coffee for just a small amount by clicking on the link below in the description area below. Thanks in advance.
I was ambitious then. We were drilled like little soldiers. No rest, no stopping. I was little and slim, but hard as a diamond. Then I became famous and... But why am I telling you all this? Last night I didn't know you at all.
I am Felix Benvenuto Freiherr von Daigen. My mother called me Flix.
No, Flix. Oh, that's sweet. And how do you live? And what kind of a person are you?
I'm a prodigal son, the black sheep of a white flock. I shall die on the gallows.
You know, you're entirely different from what I expected.
Different? How?
Oh, I don't know. I thought you were more of a coquette. Not so ladylike.
What did you expect?
Wouldn't you like to call me by the first name?
Well, I don't know what he wants. I never saw him before.
I know you. I've kept your books for you, and I know all about you. If one of your employees was half as...
Grand Hotel. I can connect you with room service.
Hello. Hello. Hello, is that the clinic? This is Sen, the head porter, Grand Hotel. How's my wife? Is she in pain? Isn't the child coming soon? Patience. Would you have patience?
This is Otto Kringeline. Is that you, Heinrich? Oh, Heinrich, listen, I've got to talk very quickly, because every minute costs 2 marks 90. You know that will I made before I had my operation? Well, I want you to tear it up. Huh? Well, I came to Berlin to see a great specialist about that old trouble of mine, you know, Heinrich. It's pretty bad. She says I haven't long to live. I say he says I won't live much longer. No, it isn't nice to be told things like that. You plague and bother and save, and all of a sudden you're dead. I want to get something out of life. Listen, Heinrich, I'm never going back to Friedrichsdorf. Never. I'm staying here at the Grand Hotel. It's the most expensive hotel in Berlin. Yeah, all the best people stay here. Even our big boss, Preising, is staying here. I'm going to tell him someday just exactly what I think of him.
Hello. Hello, miss. This is General Director Preising. I want my home in Friedrichsdorf, please. Hurry, here. Hello, hello. Is that you, Mama? How are the children? What news have you from the factory, dear? Yeah. Is your papa there? Good. Hello, Papa. Is that you? Yeah. The conference with the Saxonia Company is set for tomorrow morning, Papa. Yeah. Yeah. If the merger does not go through, we are in very bad shape, Papa. Yeah. Yeah. Everything depends upon news from Manchester. If the deal with the Manchester Cotton Company does not go through, we are facing a very bad situation, Papa.
Suzette, Madame Gruzinskaya has made. Madame will not dance today. No, she will not go to the rehearsal. She did not sleep all night. There is something preying on her mind. No, I give her a tablet of Verinol. She's sleeping now.
This is Baron von Geigen. Look here, I need money or I can't stay at this hotel much longer. So I've laid the groundwork. I know the exact position of a room, and I've made friends with our ballet master, Pimenov.
Listen, Heinrich, I've taken all my savings, everything, and I'm going to enjoy spending it. All of it. It's terribly expensive here, Heinrich. Oh, but it's wonderful.
I can't. I'll lose my job. It's like being in jail.
Rely on me, Papa. I will make this merger go through. I never fail.
Oh, poor Madame. Her mind is tortured. I'm afraid she will...
I don't need advice, thanks very much. I need money.
Music all the time. Oh, it's wonderful.
Grand Hotel. People coming, going. Nothing ever happens.
I ran around with my own little crowd, the usual laughs, not often but loud, and in the world that I knew, I didn't know about you. Chasing after the ring on the merry-go-round, just taking my fun where it could be found. And yet what else could I do? I didn't know about you. Darling, now I know I had the loneliest yesterday. Every day in your arms, I know for once in my life I'm living, had a good time. Every time I went out, romance was a thing I kidded about. How could I know about love? I didn't know about you.
Gonna get in the movies and wear all them nice clothes. All them nice clothes like they're wearing. And I'll sit in them big hotels and they'll take pictures of me. When they have them openings, I'll go and talk on the radio and it won't cost me nothing because I'm in the picture. All them nice clothes like they wear. Because this guy says I'm a natural.
If you like that one, we've got a lot more. Hotter than your morning coffee.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you come back to see the next one. I'll be here waiting for you. If you enjoyed this, please kindly give me a like, share with others, comment below, subscribe if you haven't already, And don't forget, you need to click on that notification bell so that you can be notified of every time I upload a new one. So thank you so very much for stopping by again and sharing this moment with me and this time that always passes by so quickly. I can't wait to do the next one for you. So until we meet again, please be safe and be blessed.